In my home country, Ukraine, potato was always a staple crop. People always planted a ton of potatoes, and we ate it in so many different variations. I love growing potatoes, not to store it for winter time, because I cannot grow enough for that purpose, but to have it as young, new potatoes in the middle of summer. That's one of my favorite dishes to have. So today I will be planting some potatoes in my garden, and I would like to share with you how I do it. So the first thing is you have to let your potato chit, get these sprouts from every eye. I was lucky, and most of the potatoes I had purchased already had sprouted, so I didn't have to let it sit and do chitting. But I like to cut my potatoes before planting to maximize the yield. So every potato has different amounts of eyes. You see, this small one only has a few, so there is no reason to cut it. But the bigger potato is, the more eyes it has. And you can cut those bigger potatoes, and that way you will have more seeds to plant. I'm going to plant several varieties today, but my favorite one is this red Norland. It looks so pretty when you dig it up. It has bright pink color. It even blooms with pink flowers, and it tastes so good, very creamy. It's great as mashed potato, and it's also good as roasted. And the last variety I will be planting today is this pretty purple majesty. Just look at the color of this potato. When you cut it, it's so bright purple. And even the sprouts are purple. So cute. So when I slice my potatoes for planting, I make sure that one piece has at least 3 eyes. That way it will have room to grow. And after doing all the cuts, I usually let the potatoes callus up for a couple of days. Usually in 2 days they are ready to be planted. So I just lay them in the cardboard box and let them air dry. You don't have to put them on the sun or in the dark or in some special conditions, just room temperature. And I also have some late season variety potato that didn't sprout yet. It didn't chit, so as you can see, they are just starting to wake up. These eyes, like this one over here, is starting to grow. So I'll put it back in the box and just leave it on my kitchen countertop for a few days. It's warm and dry over here, so it can start chitting. I also have found a few potatoes that I left last year. This variety is called All Blue or something like that. I was growing it last year, and then I put a few aside. Instead of eating it all up, I figured, let me see if it will stay until the spring. I don't have root cellar or anything, but they were just sitting in my basement and they kind of shrinkled, but that's okay. You can still plant potatoes like that. And these are the potatoes calloused up, the ones that we cut a few days ago. So as you can see, they develop a thick skin. It looks kind of ugly, but that's okay. This is the normal process. This is just to prevent potato going to rot and mold once you plant them. Some people actually skip this step, and as soon as they cut the potatoes and they plant them right away. But I don't want to risk my valuable space, not even the potatoes. I am more worried about the space that I will waste if I plant something and it will not grow. I usually grow my potatoes in either raised beds or grow bags. Today I'll be planting in these 7-gallon grow bags, which I had filled up with potting mix, and I'm also going to use this worm castings, which is an organic soil amendment, and I'll be planting one variety per each bag. You have to try putting the calloused up part, the one you cut, down, and those eyes have to face up. And what I usually do is just press it slightly into the soil, and I like to plant 6 per bag, so 6 pieces, not 6 potatoes, but the pieces that I cut. And I add up a little bit of worm castings on top and kind of mix it in. I don't plant my potatoes too deep into the grow bags because I want them to have enough room to have baby potatoes underneath in all of that soil. And I also don't fill it up all the way to the top of the grow bag because I want to first cover it up with some leaves to kind of mulch it up, and then when it will start growing, I'll remove those leaves and I'll add more soil to top it off. Potatoes don't like to have soggy and wet soil. That's why grow bags are perfect to grow them, because grow bags can breathe, and also the extra water and moisture can escape. That way it will leave potatoes the way they like to be, in a well-drained soil. It's still March here in Chicago, and as you can see, I have some snow on the ground, so that's why I want to mulch up my potatoes a bit, and all I used is just some leaves that I had collected around my backyard. And on this stage, they do not need to be on light or sunny locations, so I just hid them under my raised beds. This way they'll be out of my way, because in the spring there is a lot of plantings going on and I don't want potatoes to be on my way. But when they sprout, I'll definitely take them out of there and place where I'll have room for them to grow.